to discuss about common table expressions, which is a very important concept in the SQL Server. So basically, I already have created a table with the employee's name. It is like a temporary table that I have created, and in this table I have 10 entries with employee IDs, names, departments, and the salaries. So now you can see the output here below. And I'm going to paste the script in the description box. So let's get started. So this is our table, the employees table with all the entries. And so let's get to common table expressions. So what is a common table expression? It is like a virtual table that we are going to create within the query. So for example, let's take a simple example for now. Now I'm going to create a virtual table of the same employees table with a different name. So let's see how it is done. So this is our output, and I'm going to store the same values in a different virtual table. So let's do it. And basically every common table expression starts with the keyword C, with is a keyword, and here I'm going to use CTE. Or else we can also use very different names. For example, temporary table or temporary. I believe temporary is a keyword in this. Okay, yes, it is a keyword. So let's take a temp table for now. And so we have to mention as, and then click on. So this is our new table. This is going to be a new table. And click on open braces. And now let's write the main query. Select star from asterisk from employees. Basically, we're going to store all the values from the employees table in this temporary table that we're going to create. And then we are going to retrieve. So these are our temporary table. This is our new table name. So how are we going to retrieve it? So once we close the braces, all the entries, values in the employees table are going to be stored in temporary table. Let's execute this. Select star from temp table. Perfect. Now, if you could see, we basically wouldn't be seeing any changes, but we do have all the values. For example, let's try other outputs now, where department is equal to HR. Perfect. So we just retrieved all the entries that has the department as the HR. And what about the information that is included inside the braces that is going to be stored? So if we can give any name for this common table expressions. Basically, I take CTEs regularly because it is very much easier and handy. So for example, now let's see, select name, department. So we're going to use the main query just like a regular syntax. Okay. So now if I execute this, you can see that I got the output. Okay. So this is like the basic use, like to give you an idea what is a common table expression. So how we use this query, and basically we are going to store create a different table. Now let's move on to different problem for further explanation. So here we have a problem statement creating INF departments with more than 2 employees. These are the tables, so let's start from employees. So now I want to see are there any employees in each I want to retrieve all the information from the department who has more than 2 employees. So basically in IT we have yes, 3. Basically I believe that in this table every department has more than 2 employees. So let's write a query for this problem statement. Now let's start our CTE with CTE. And look, this is the name I generally use. You could use any other name, and then mention as is open braces. And now write the query. Select department, comma, count of star as number of employees. From employees group by. So department. So basically, I've just created a stored a virtual table with the names, okay, and I have stored the values inside the CTEs. I can use my own name, Rango Science Retouch, if needed. However, so now I just created a table with the values I needed, and in the main function, the CTE, I'm going to retrieve with the solution I needed. So more than 2 employees, right? So now let's retrieve the function. So let's start from CTE, where number of employees greater than 2. Now let's execute this. Perfect. Now you can see in the HR department, we have 4 employees, marketing 3, and IT 3. So these are power of common table expressions. And I'm literally not exaggerating, but common table expressions are really important. So now let's move to a different problem statement that I've saved. So in the upcoming problem statement, I'm going to show how to use 2 CTEs within a single query. So here's our problem statement. Find employees whose salaries exceed the average salary within each department. So it's a kind of little tricky one. We can also we can solve it in many ways. I can use windows as well. For example, let's take normal query. Select average salary as average sal from employees. So this is the average salary of the whole employees. It's not separated by the department, but it's the average salary of all the employees from every department included. So now I'm going to add a group by function that can be partition the salaries, average salaries. So I don't have to mention, but let's see group by department. Now we'll be getting the salary, but in order to be more precise, I will mention the department name in the select statement. Perfect. Now let's execute this. Now, for example, let's take HR department, and the average salary of the HR department is 60,250. So now I want to retrieve the employees whose salaries exceed more than the average salary. So in HR department, on the employees whose salary is higher than 60,250. And if you go to the main table, you can see John now is less than 6,250. Even the Carol is less. Frank, I believe, yes, Frank's salary is higher than 60,250. Frank's and Ivy's, yes. So according to our problem statement, from the HR department, I should get Frank and Ivy. So how to do that? With the help of CTEs. In order to do that, we have to use 2 common table expressions. Generally, we can also use window functions, I know. However, I'm going to discuss about using window functions in any other video, which would make our job a lot easier. However, as is dedicated to CTEs, I'm going to talk about only common table expressions. So let's start our query with CTE1 as select star from employees. There's a whole table, and that is the reason I have mentioned CTE1. And after closing the query, always mention comma. Now CTE2 is our second common table expression as select department, comma, average salary as. And one more important thing that it is always important to mention alias whenever we use common table expressions and subqueries. So basically, it's not an exception. We cannot take it as an exception, but it is really important and mandatory to always use alias while using common table expressions. So let's use his average salary from employees group by department. Now let's close the query. And now we are going to use inner join between 2 tables, 2 common table expressions. How are we going to do that? Select on the common row, one table department. So select star history from CT1 C1, that is the alias I'm going to use. Inner join CT2 C2 on C1 dot department is equal to C2 dot department. Perfect. Now if I execute this, you could see all the values. So the average salary of the John's department is 60,250 and the marketing is 53,000. So, but according to our problem statement, I need to have only employees, and to clearly mention it, I'm going to mention department salary and average salary as well. So C1 dot department, comma, salary, comma, average salary. Perfect. Now I can use a where condition and see where salary is greater than average salary. Perfect. So according to requirement, if you can see Frank's and Ivy's from the HR department, salaries are greater than, and we can also sort it order by department, C1 dot department. Let's take.
And the see the two tasks
Perfect. So if you can see from the HR department, we already have Frank and Ivy. And there's a like introduction to the common table expressions, and common table expressions are really, really important. So in the next video, I'm going to discuss more about the common table expressions. So thank you for watching my video.